Anybody can please respond. Can you guys see my screen?
Sir,
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So basically, for CCNE, we have a few courses. Like if you see on the screen, so CCNA stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate, right? So so in order to get into the networking, so this is not only the certificate we have in the market, right? So this is one of the certificate, and this is the famous certificate we have in the market. But this is not only the choice, but the thing is, all the basics of networking, whatever we are going to use these technologies in the market, so that we are going to discuss in the CCNA. But this is exclusively for Cisco's certified network associate for Cisco certificate. This is the international certificate. But if you want to certify with a different vendor, like if you take a Juniper, so there is a different certificate that is called JNCIA. Okay, so this CCNA is basically a Cisco certificate. CCNA is basically a Cisco certificate, and if you certify this, then it's like a entry pass for all the interviews. Like if you are CCNA certified, and your resume will get I mean shortlisted very easily, right? So if anyone see your resume, and if in your resume if you see this CCNA certified, then recruiter will think that okay, that person has some knowledge, and we can use that CCNA certificate as a entry point. Okay, so if you see here, so there are few topics like every network fundamentals, network access, IP connectivity, IP services, security fundamentals, right? And we are also covering this automation and programmability concepts in the CCNA. So earlier this topic is not there, but later on Cisco's combined few topics into the CCNA. So you can see these topics like automation and programmability. Okay, so just let's get into the actual topics. Like if you want, I'll show you this. So let me share my screen. So anybody has any idea about what is networking? Anyone? Anybody in the class has any idea about the networking? What do you think exactly about the networking?
the interconnection between two or more nodes is called networking, right, sir?
Very good. So that's exactly the one, but okay, that's the correct one. So anybody, any other guys has any guess on the networking? Anybody? Okay, fine. So you are correct, Harnath. So connecting the two devices, but let's without getting directly into it. So let's try to understand. Like, so in earlier days, like in olden days, in 1950s or 1800, years, like if you want to exchange some information between two locations, or if you want to send any information or your relatives living in another area, right? What we used in earlier days. So we used like a post office kind of things, and we even don't have any phones, right? So in that scenario, it is so we are going to use the post office services, right? We are going to write the information on a letter, and we are going to post that into the post office so that they will deliver the letter to the exact recipient, right? So but now everything is going digital, right? So everything is moving and technology is evolving, right? So later what happened is the computers are invented, like, and so the women and the everybody lives make easier after the computer is invented, right? So the thing is, so what exactly the networking is like? So let's say we have two computers, for example, right? So if you want to send any Word file or Excel file to the another computer, right? So how can we do that? So how the computer will send information from one computer to another computer? So I'll show you here. Let's see. If you search on the Google, if you search on the Google, so you can see this computer. So every computer, right? Every computer is have one NIC code, right? That NIC code is called network interface code. You can see this, right? So this is called a NIC code, right? Every computer has one NIC code, and using the NIC is nothing but network interface card, right? Using this NIC card, what I'm going to do is I am going to use one more cable called as Ethernet cable. Okay, I'll show you that Ethernet cable as well. So using this NIC card and Ethernet cable, I'm going to connect one end of the Ethernet cable to this port and another end of the Ethernet cable to the another computer port. Right? Once the cable is connected between the computers, right? So once the cable is connected between the computers, and we can share the information over the media, right? And we have to understand the media here. Like so, basically, we have two types of medias. One is cable media. The other one is um, wireless media. Okay. So if you want to share any information between the two computers, we have to use any one media. Like you can use a Ethernet cable as a media, or you can use a wireless as a medium, right? Air, right? So in the wired technology, the media is wire, right? In the wireless technology, the media is air, right? Let's try to check this. So if you see this diagram, okay, can you see this diagram? Can you see my screen? Hello? Yes, can anyone respond like, okay, thank you guys. Okay. So let's keep it as a simple, like let's take this example. Okay, so I'm not going to deep about these technologies. Like this, we are trying to understand what exactly is networking. Like, so the networking is nothing but connecting two endpoints. Like this is I'm calling this as a endpoint, and this computer as a another endpoint. Right. So I'm going to connect these two endpoints using a cable. Right, using cable. Right. So so using this cable, I'm using this NIC card, right? I'm connecting one end of the cable to this and another end of the cable to this computer, right? I'm going to connect the computer together, right? So, but the thing is, not only in the networking, the connecting of uh, computers together, and after connecting the computers together, we will share some information. But we have to remember, we no need to connect a computer together with a cable, right? We can use a wireless technology, and we can use that media as a air, right? So there are two types of medias, right? One is wired technologies, the another one is wireless technologies. So in the wired technologies, I'm going to use a cable as a media. Wireless technologies, I'm going to use the air as a media. Okay. So and if you see, right, we have a in every computer we have one NIC card, right? So, but what if I want to connect? If you want to share the same information with a third computer, right? We have only two computers here. We can connect. Let me show you the diagram. Give me 1 minute. Okay. Okay. See, you can see here. So this is one computer and this is another computer, right? So if you want to share the information between the two computers, I'm going to use a cable as a medium here, right? I'm going to connect a cable between the two computers and we are going to share a message between the two computers, right? But what if I have another computer and I want to share the information with third computer, right? So in that scenario, right? So we cannot connect another cable from this computer to another computer, right? So in that scenario, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a network device is called as a switch, right? So I'm going to use that switch between the in the network. Right? So switch has a few ports, right? Let me show you that, right? You can see here. So this is called as a switch, right? What I'm going to do is, if you want to connect three or more computers, like two or more computers, if you have a two computers and if you want to share information between the two computers, no need of switch. But if you want to share the information with the third computer or fourth computer, so there is no option to connect a second cable from that computer to the third computer, from one computer to the third computer. So in that scenario, what I'm going to do is I am going to connect another switch, right? So switch has so many ports here, right? So it depends on the model. The switch has many ports, like 24 ports, 48 ports, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect a cable from a computer to this switchboard, from each computer to this switchboard, right? So in that scenario, what will happen is, if you want, the switch is going to transfer all the information to the required machines, right? So that is going to happen based on the IP address, right? So IP address is nothing but like to identify a host in the network, right? We have multiple computers, right? And if you want to identify, like we have multiple computers here, right? So the thing is, if you want to communicate with this computer from this computer to this computer, right? We need to know, right? What is the name of this computer and what is the name of this, right? If in a world, if you want to talk with another person, at least we need to know name, right? So in the same way, if any computer is want to communicate with other computer, right, they should know each other, like. So it's like ip address is like a name of the computer, like. So to identify the computer on the network, right? Just remember, IP address is nothing but it's a number to identify a computer on the network. Okay? Not only the computer, any network device, right? Any network device. If you want to identify a network device in the network, then you will use that IP address as a name for that. Okay. So let's say so now we have connected a switch, right? Take this as a switch. Now we have connected a switch and connected three or four computers to that switch, right? And we are going to share the information between all the computers, right? But let's say we have a printer here, right? You can see the printer here. So basically the printer has only one NIC card, right? So only one Ethernet connection we can connect, right? If you want to print anything, right, what we are going to do is we are going to connect a cable directly from this computer to this printer, okay? And we can print that paper from the printer. But what if another use I want to use the same printer at the same time? That is not possible, right? So we cannot print the same print. We cannot use the same printer at the same time, right? So in that scenario, what we are going to do is we are going to use the switch and we are going to connect a cable, an Ethernet cable from the printer to the switch, right? So in that way, what will happen is the switch is going to act as a bridge between all the devices, right? When the computers want to communicate with the printer, right? So that printer is going to share. We are going to share that printer with all the nodes, right? So basically, the advantage of this in this networking is like we can share the resources, right? So let's say we have a branch in Hyderabad, one branch in Hyderabad and another branch in Bangalore, right? But we don't have a money to install a big servers or big printers in each locations, right? So we are going to install a printer in one location, and we are going to use that same printer for all the locations using this network, right? So that is going to save some money and some resource scalability and communication. Like we can share some resources, like any resources, like from for emails and if you want to share any message, if you want to share any word, and if you want to share any 1 GB data, any kind of data, if you want to share, right? We are going to use the networking, right? So guys, you are following my you are following, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me try to show this in a so let me try to show that in a board. Let me give me 1 second. Okay, let me arrange that board 1 second. Okay, guys. So let me take a paint. Let me try to explain it. Okay. Okay. So let's say we have a computer here, right? We have a one computer here, and we have another computer here. Okay. So what is networking is connecting the two nodes, right, together to share some information, right? So I'm going to connect these two computers together to share the information, right? But the thing is, we have two options to connect the two nodes together. Like one is called a wide technology, right? That is called LAN or a WAN. Okay. So there are two technologies to connect between the two computers, right? The second one is like a wireless, right? Wireless is a technology. See, I'm going to use in a networking. Okay, let me. So basically, we'll have a board, but right now it looks like that is busy. Okay, so wireless and LAN, right? So in the wire technology, to connect between the two computers, I am going to take a cable, right? That is a Ethernet cable, right? Let me show you how the Ethernet cable look like. You can see here. So this is called Ethernet cable, right? We will discuss more about these Ethernet cables later, right? But just remember, this is Ethernet cable, and this cable used as a medium in a LAN technology to connect between the two computers. Okay, so there is a one more option, right? This is the one option. There is a one more option, right? That is a wireless technology. We are going to use this wireless technology as a medium, right? So in the wireless technology, the medium is air, right? We no need to connect any cable, right? If you see your mobile, right? If you want to uh, if you want to let's say we have a home router, right? In your home there is a Wi-Fi internet connection, right? So you can connect your mobile to that Wi-Fi, right? So how you are connecting? Are you connecting with the cable? How you guys are connecting your mobile to the Wi-Fi? You're not connecting a cable to the Wi-Fi router, right? So how you are connecting it? So any guess? So how you are going to connect your mobile to the Wi-Fi router in your home? You are not using any cable, right? So what is the media here? Any guess? What is the media we are using to connect your mobile to the router? So IP address is a technology, Sahid. So it's not a media, right? IP address is to identify the that mobile on the network, right? Once you are connected to the mobile Wi-Fi, then you will get the IP address. Okay. So after getting the IP address, then yeah, IP address, then that IP address is used as to identify the device in the network, but it's not a media, right? Cable is a media, that's fine, but that is in the LAN technologies, right? So if you want to connect a computer with a cable, then the media is a cable. But now I am trying to connect to the mobile to the Wi-Fi, the home internet. Are we using any cable and connecting to a mobile and Wi-Fi router? We are not using any cable, right? We are not using any cable connecting from mobile to the Wi-Fi router, right? So there is a one more media we are going to use in this technology, in the Wi-Fi technology. So that is called air, right? Air is a media here, right? So to connect two computers, uh, and if you use a Ethernet cable, Ethernet cable is called as a media here. That cable is a media here. But in the wireless technology, right, if you want to connect to the Wi-Fi using Wi-Fi passwords and everything, so the in that scenario, the media is a air. Just remember, there are two types of medias. One is cable media and air, Ethernet media and air media. Okay, so then that's fine then. So we understood about the media, like what type of media we're using between the two devices to share the information. Like if you use a cable, that is a cable media. If you use a air, that is the air media, right? So let's say we have two computers, that's fine, and everything is good. We can use a cable, and we are fine. We can share the information. But what if I have three computers? I have three computers, right? I have three computers and I have one more printer in the same network, right? This is called printer, right? So all these three users, like uh, this is one user computer, and this is two, and this is three, computer three. So all these three users want to use this printer, okay? But every computer has only one NIC card. Is that correct? Did you guys see any computer has two Ethernet cards, NIC cards? Anybody see it? Right? So every computer has only one NIC card, right? You can see this. I'll show you that. You can see this. If you see on your computer, there is a card like this. This card is called as a NIC card, Network Interface Card, right? This is for wired technologies, right? If you want to use Wi-Fi on the same computer, right? We will use Wi-Fi Ethernet adapters. There are some adapters in a computers, wired Ethernet adapters and Wi-Fi Ethernet adapters, right? So wired Ethernet adapter means we are going to use this NIC card to connect to the network. If you use wireless adapters, then we will use that wireless adapter to connect to the Wi-Fi, right? But just think about it, like we have only one NIC card, but here we have three computers and want to use the same printer, right? So three computers we have, three computers, and they want to use same printer in the lab. right? But for the printer also, we have only one NIC card, one network interface card, right? In few vendors are providing two NIC cards, but it is in rare situations, and you need to buy that NIC card and you need to insert it. Even if you buy two NIC cards, it's not possible because we have three computers, right? You can, this is not possible to use the same computer for all three users, right? So if I want to share this information, if I want to use the printer, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to place one network device here, right? That is called as switch, right? So the switch is a layer 2 technology. So what will happen is the switch have multiple ports here, right? I'm going to connect a cable from this computer to the switch port, and another cable from this computer to the this switch port, right? And another cable from this computer to the switch port, right? So, and we are going to assign the IP addresses to each of these computers, right? So because we need to identify these computers on the network, right? So to identify the network, we are going to assign the IP addresses on each computer. And in the same way, I'm going to assign a one more IP address on this printer, right? Because I need to identify this printer in the network, right? We will identify this printer in this network using the assigned IP address, right? So just remember, IP address is to identify the device in the network, right? We will discuss more about these basics, right? So we will discuss later about all these things, right? Just try to understand why exactly we need a networking, right? So now, for example, this computer has one IP address, 192.168.1.1, right? So, and the other one is having another IP address, like this is 1.2, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. And I'm configuring this as a IP address 4, 192.168.1.4, right? But whenever this user, 192.168.1.2 user, want to print the paper, then what he's going to do is he's going to print the paper using this IP address 192.168.1.4, right? Whenever this third user want to use the printer at the same time, then he can use the printer using the same IP address. There is some delay, like if 100 users want to use the printer at the same time, right? So this printer will respond to the request, the first come first serve, right? If one user is trying to reach this printer for the first time, then he'll get the response. At the same time, when this guy is going to reach the printer, then it will first respond to this. Then after that, it will respond to this, right? So that theory, that practically we will see everything like how the communication will happen between all the devices, right? So just remember, like networking is nothing but connecting of two devices or more devices together to say some information, right? Right? So you can see here. So networking is linking of devices together to share some information, right? So if you see here, the advantage of this networking is like resource sharing, and we can save a lot of money, right? We cannot install a printer for each and every user, right? We will install one printer in the company, and we will ask all the users to use the same printer for all the printing things, right? So that will save the money, right? It will not we will not going to install we will not going to purchase multiple printers for each and every user, right? So we can use the same printer using a networking, right? And right, the communication media and scalability. So that is pretty much what we have for networking. But remember, guys, so CCA in A is a basic thing we need to learn to get into the networking, right? If anybody wants to become a network engineer or IT support engineer in the market, right? If anybody want to become a IT specialist, right? So I suggest you guys to learn the CCNA, right? then only you will get some confidence, then you can crack the interviews, right? So this is just basic introduction, and don't think like you will learn more everything in a single class, right? So just here we are going to explain each and every topic, right? Like from the basics to advanced topics, like all the networking and security and wireless technologies, right? And you can use the labs what we have in the institute, right? We have all practical labs, like, so we have a bunch of devices, like real-time devices, router, switches, firewalls, right? So once you have completed the class, you can go to the lab and you can use it, right? You have a separate lab trainer for it, right? You can utilize that lab trainer and you can learn so many things, right? So anybody has any questions? Anybody has want to know anything about this networking career? So okay, guys. So do you have any questions? Any questions related to the career, or any questions on the topics like,
Sir,
sorry?
sir,
Any questions, Arna?
sir, I had a one doubt, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, I had worked previously one organization, Landmark Premium Cars.
Okay.
वो इसमें क्या ये पूरा ये सेटअप है विलान का सेटअप
Mm-hmm.
सर ये वो कनेक्टेड थ्रू ये Fortinet firewall.
Okay.
What exactly what you had tell that practically we had faced the issue, sir.
Okay, great. So,
Right, sir.
mm-hmm.
हम पे यूजर्स कम है सर ब्रांचेस बहुत है
Okay.
सर वो क्या फॉर्टिनेट फॉर्टिनेट फायरवॉल का चीज डिफरेंट है स्विच का चीज डिफरेंट है ना सर
Yes.
वो एक कभी कभी हम ऑर्गेनाइजेशन शिफ्ट शिफ्ट हुआ तो वो एक्सपीरियंस नॉट यूज्ड इन अनदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन दे प्रैक्टिकल बहुत डिफरेंस रहता ना सर
Yes.
हम पे वी हैड लर्न समथिंग बट वी वेंट टू अनदर ऑर्गेनाइजेशन द चीज इज डिफरेंट
Mm-hmm.
we are facing so many issues sir suppose a landmark का चीज वे नेक्स्ट एजुकेशन का चीज वे बहुत डिफरेंट है ना सर
You mean LAN one?
सर कंपनी चीज करेक्ट है लेकिन सेटअप बहुत डिफरेंट रहता ना सर
Yeah, exactly. So, see, the thing is like,
सर
this is a basic, like I took only switch, right?
सर
I connected all the computer to the switch, and I explained like the importance of networking. Like, so if you have a printer, we cannot connect a printer directly to the computer, right? We can
सर
connect only one computer, but we cannot connect two or more computers to the printer, right? So in that scenario, we are just placing a switch. But the thing is, every organization has different setup,
यस
and
सर
every organization use switches, routers, firewalls,
यस सर
right? So what we are going to learn is, we'll start from basic, from a computer, and we'll start from the IP addresses, like why IP addresses used. Then we'll connect all the computer to the switch, right?
यस
And
सर
we'll learn about the switch after we completing the IP addresses concepts and everything about the computers, and we will connect to the switch, right? Then we'll start about the switching, and we'll teach about the switching, like how switch work and what are the features we have, and how the VLANs will work, and how if you have a more than if you have more than 500 users or 600 users, right? How we are going to make the life easy, right? And if we have a more 100 switches or 200 switches, we cannot go into the each and every switch, and we cannot configure the VLANs, right?
Correct, sir.
So in that scenario, what we're going to do is we are going to configure a concept called VTP, right? Virtual trunking protocol or VLAN trunking protocol. So VLAN trunking protocol is like a feature, right? It's going to update. We are going to configure the VLANs on one switch, and it's going to update everything on other switches.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that kind of setup we will learn here, and we will teach you guys. So don't worry about it, right? Just remember, just try to learn, and after that we will learn about routers,
Yes, sir.
internal switching, right? So we will learn about router, how the routing protocols will work, RIP,
Yes, sir.
EGRP, OSPF, BGP, right? We will learn
Yes,
about
sir.
it. No problem at all, right? So, but the thing is like we have different series for firewall. I don't think so. You guys are opted for firewall, but
Yes,
if
sir.
you want to learn, you can learn firewall as well. That's fine. But in this course, we are going to talk about all the switching and routing related topics. No need to worry about it. So I'm going to teach from basic to advanced level. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So, uh, any questions from anyone? So basically, this CCN is for all the IT network engineers, right? So don't think that network engineers will do like home router configurations. No.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Networking is different. Network engineer is going to manage a big switches, routers, firewalls. Okay. So that we will discuss and clearly in coming classes. Okay. So okay, guys. If you don't have any questions, then feel free to drop off then. Right. Thank you all. Bye. Anybody can please respond. Can you guys see my screen?
Sir,
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So basically, for CCNE, we have a few courses. Like if you see on the screen, so CCNA stands for Cisco Certified Network Associate, right? So so in order to get into the networking, so this is not only the certificate we have in the market, right? So this is one of the certificate, and this is the famous certificate we have in the market. But this is not only the choice, but the thing is, all the basics of networking, whatever we are going to use these technologies in the market, so that we are going to discuss in the CCNA. But this is exclusively for Cisco Certified Network Associate, for Cisco certificate. This is the international certificate. But if you want to certify with a different vendor, like if you take a Juniper, so there is a different certificate that is called JNCIA. Okay, so this CCNA is basically a Cisco certificate. CCN is basically a Cisco certificate, and if you certify this, then it's like a entry pass for all the interviews. Like if you are CCNA certified, and your resume will get I mean shortlisted very easily, right? So if anyone see your resume, and if in your resume if you see this CCNA certified, then recruiter will think that okay, that person has some knowledge, and we can use that CCNA certificate as a entry point. Okay, so if you see here, so there are few topics like every network fundamentals, network access, IP connectivity, IP services, security fundamentals, right? And we are also covering this automation and programmability concepts in the CCNA. So earlier this topic is not there, but later on Cisco's combined few topics into the CCNA. So you can see these topics like automation and programmability. Okay, so just let's get into the actual topics. Like, if you want, I'll show you this. So let me share my screen. So anybody has any idea about what is networking? Anyone? Anybody in the class has any idea about the networking? What do you think exactly about the networking?
The interconnection between two or more nodes is called networking, right? So
Very good. So that's exactly the one, but okay, that's the correct one. So anybody, any other guys has any guess on the network?